Sweet Baby Inc. strikes again and destroys yet another franchise. I don't know if you can really blame Sweet Baby Inc. 100% on this one, but it is a little bit peculiar that every time a game seems to flop, their name is somehow attached to it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. God of War Ragnarok has debuted on Steam PC to a paltry 50% less of an audience than the original God of War. And while Sweet Baby Inc. is involved with the narrative and character consultation with a focus on representation, as they say on their own website, God of War Ragnarok is not suffering directly from that. But I can't help but think it has something to do with it. In addition to having a lot of issues and errors and technical problems, and probably the biggest issue, forcing people that want to play the single player experience to log in with a PlayStation Network account. Why are you like this, Sony? JT. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down God of War Ragnarok's debut on Steam PC and how it fell flat on its face. The PC release of God of War Ragnarok has finally arrived, but its performance on Steam has been less than stellar, to put it nicely. While previous Sony first-party exclusives have often enjoyed massive success when transitioning to PC, Ragnarok's numbers have been surprisingly underwhelming, and for a few good reasons. At its peak, Ragnarok reached a concurrent player count of 35,565 players on Steam, which is a good amount of players. Obviously, a lot of games would kill for those kind of numbers. But when you compare it against God of War, it's less than half what they already got before. Sony probably isn't too ecstatic about that. God of War got 73,529 players at the all-time peak, and that is miles behind Ghost of Tsushima's over 77,000 concurrent players. But this disappointing turnout isn't just about the numbers. It points to a much deeper concern in the gaming community, especially regarding a topic that I've been covering quite a bit as of late: Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement and Sony's controversial PlayStation Network account requirements, on top of a lot of people complaining about technical issues. And we'll get to all that, but first off, let's talk about Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc., the narrative consultancy firm that has come under quite a bit of fire recently for its track record of injecting DEI into anything they touch. As much as they want to deny their heavy involvement with doing so, the sales and results of the games that they work on tell a much different story. So much different that I start to wonder why any game company in their right mind would ever so much as think about picking up the phone and giving them a call. Sweet Baby Inc.'s influence has been visible in many of the games I've been covering, where their focus on DEI has led to significant changes in character designs and race swaps, plot development, or lack thereof, and even dialogue that sometimes you can hardly even understand, all at the expense of the game's original visions. Gamers have become increasingly aware of how this consultancy firm operates, and many people I've been talking to feel like the involvement of Sweet Baby Inc. is bad enough that they would not even touch any of their games. I was talking to Hypnotic about this the other day, and there was a time where I was like, okay, you know what? I know they're bad, and I know they try to call my old jobs and get me fired. I know they tried to get Kabruda's Steam account canceled, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm a gamer. I love games, and they're just a consultancy company. They're not really working on the games. I can try my best to look past that. And then you see the games coming out and what's transpiring and how Kim Belair's been doubling down on how they're just innocent and misunderstood people. And you know what? I ain't having it. I have taken a stand, just like Hypnotic and many other people out there, where we are not going to be playing any games that Sweet Baby Inc. so much as breathes on. The last thing I'd want to do is support a company that cares more about ticking boxes on a checklist than actual game development. In God of War Ragnarok, Sweet Baby Inc.'s hand can be seen in various aspects of the game, from character interactions to shifts in the narratives. You could even say that some of the characters and story arcs feel shoehorned into the plot to meet diversity quotas, detracting from the authentic Norse mythology experience that the series has become known for. And I gotta be honest, like, this is something gamers, for the most part, have just put their hands up and said, you know what? There's a lot of other games out there for me to play. Why should I support this direction in the game industry? Nobody wants it to go this way. With Sweet Baby Inc. now coming under intense scrutiny by a lot of gamers out there, people have become wary of any project that they're involved in, fearing that it will compromise the integrity of beloved franchises, and gamers just don't want any part of that. And by purchasing a game that they have touched, you are enabling them and supporting them for future projects as well. And it kind of sucks because there could be some big bangers out there that they work on, see God of War Ragnarok, where you're just like, I really want to play this game, but I cannot support this company. But that's just the Sweet Baby Inc. angle to this. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the comments already typing away, being like, it's not Sweet Baby Inc. It's because of other reasons. I get it. I'm just saying, for me personally, that's the biggest reason why I'm taking a big step away from this. I was considering buying it on Steam. I already bought it on PlayStation 5 back before I knew about all the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff and how it blew up. I was considering buying it again, and I'm like, no, definitely not. There is absolutely no reason for me to go there. But there are other reasons. Some could argue much bigger reasons why God of War Ragnarok has failed. Well, on Steam at least. Beyond Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement, another point of contention is the game's requirement for players to sign into the PlayStation Network account for a single player game. There is literally no reason for a gamer to have to do this outside of Sony just wanting to find out more about a person and being able to track you more. And I got a feeling there's not a lot of gamers that are into that, especially when you pair that with Sony's track history of being hacked and losing all their data. A lot of gamers aren't very confident and comfortable with giving Sony all your information. Acidic Bubble on Steam wrote the review saying, "Why is this 100% single player experience forcing me to sign in with PSN? I understand some people are given the option to sign in, but for others like me, it's a requirement. Why? When I launch the game, it just says a PSN account is required to play, and then I can either sign in or quit the game. WTF? I hated it when EA did it. I hated it when Microsoft did it. I especially hated it when Ubisoft did it. Seriously, GFYS Ubisoft. And I hate it now with PlayStation doing it. The difference is that God of War Ragnarok has 0 online features. I can somewhat understand it for games that are multiplayer or have online features, but a single player only game, that's a hard no for me. And honestly, looking at that objectively, I can't see any fault in that line of thinking. In fact, I would look at it saying Sony needs to take a big step back and reevaluate the situation, because just like they started doing with Helldivers 2, and holy crap, don't even get me into that story again, Sony should have learned their lesson back then. But clearly, they didn't. Clearly, they feel like they are too big and they can do whatever the hell they want, and gamers are letting them know that it is a problem. PC gamers are not like console gamers. That's why they migrated over to PC. That's why they never went back to console. You are fighting a different battle, one that you are not going to win against these gamers. And then finally, the performance issues. So if you can even look past the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, which I can't, or if you can look past the PSN network requirements, which I can't, the technical performance issues across the board are really making a lot of gamers out there suffer with their experience, enough so that many of them have asked for refunds. The game has clearly not been optimized for PC with all the issues that I'm reading in the reviews. We own a PC. We are playing a single player game. Why on earth force this PSN bleep on us? Sweet Baby Inc. involved here, by the way, so you know what to expect. If you can, just pirate this game. I only found out after buying it, since I wasn't really waiting for this release. Also, locking the max resolution to your desktop resolution is dumb. My monitor is QHD ultra wide, but I always upscale games to 4K, and that's only possible with God of War Ragnarok if you also upscale your desktop resolution. Great game, dumb moves. And beyond Ragnarok, this is a problem for Sony's broader PC strategy. A lot of people are getting really frustrated with the unnecessary online requirements, region locking, and now the involvement of third-party consultancy firms like Sweet Baby Inc. coming to the forefront. The lackluster launch of God of War Ragnarok on PC is not just a blip, it's part of a broader trend where gamers are increasingly rejecting games that seem out of touch with their audience. From DEI-driven changes to intrusive online requirements, players everywhere are sending a clear message to Sony. They want games that respect their intelligence, protect their privacy, and preserve the integrity of the original vision of the game. And honestly, at the end of the day, I know it sounds like it's asking a lot, but is it really? These are like basic things to ask for in a modern day game. Not for the modern audience, of course, but for actual gamers. Are they going to get their way? Probably not, but at this rate, the way it's going, who knows? Sony could change the requirements on PSN if they think it's going to increase the sales of the game. And at this point, anything is possible. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information on God of War Ragnarok, epic failing on Steam's debut, check out smashjt.com. I will link this article in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash,